Dragon's Ride! Wow, neat!
Give me a break.
I don't like this!
Whoa! What's happening?
Oh!
Where are we? Look out!
Fear not, Ranger. Barbarian, magician, thief, cavalier, and acrobat.
Who was that?
That was Venger, the force of evil. I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
So, one of the things I want to talk about today, before we get into the game, is that I'm a big one for experience. I'm a big one for experience the game as a new player to the game would see the game. So, one of the things I like to portray is me as approaching the game as if it was for the first time. In this case, this game is actually being approached for the first time. I have never played it before. In fact, I haven't seen it till I just opened it up. I will not see it until I open it up in a minute or two. So I just thought I'd say this to you. So if you're one of those people who go, well, geez, he doesn't know the game, you're right. The reason why I'm doing that is because I feel myself that, yes, polished up game content creators, I love them. Rodney Smith and once the One Stop Co-op Shop and Man vs. Meeple and Rodney Smith and Rado and all those others that are out there have great shops, and they've got people. I don't have people. I have Harry, and so I can't spend weeks learning how to play a game. I can't spend tons of time writing scripts. Occasionally I do write scripts, but not all the time. And most of my game is played as you see it. So that is what you're going to see, is me experiencing the game. I'm unboxing the game. I'm sleeving the game. I'm going to set up the game. I'm going to explain rules of the game and try to learn the game. Now, I will try to learn the game before I actually show it to you, because that would be really silly of me having to look at the book as we go along. However, that doesn't mean I won't look at the book. And in fact, if I do, I usually stop what I'm doing and pull that off so that you don't see me looking that up, because there were some comments the other day about people go, we really don't like those guys who don't know games. But the goal for me is to show you what it's like to learn a new game. Learning new games are fun. Learning new games can be a challenge. And therefore, I want to show you the experience. And then you know what you're getting into. And that's important to me. So let's get on with the intro. Good day, everybody. This is Harry Jacobs, and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome to my channel. So, what is going on today? We're going to look at a roll and write called Paper Dungeons. It's a dungeon scrawler game. Now, I'm not a big roll and write fan, but this was kind of a purchase that just sort of, I saw it and went, this looks kind of cool. I'm always looking for crawler games that are quick, easy to play, and this one is 1 to 8 players, 10 plus in age, in about 30 minutes. So let's go down to the table and have a quick look at it, and let's learn the rules together and see how this plays. So here we have the box. It's not very big. It looks like it's about 9 by 9 and about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, and it's called Paper Dungeons. And Immortal Glory waits. So let me just read what's on the back of the box for you. Paper Dungeons reinvents the classic dungeon crawler with a new dynamic roll and write twist. You'll control a group of intrepid adventurers as they explore crypts, catacombs, and cavernous chambers, fighting monsters and looting treasures along the way. In every game, you'll be able to level up characters, craft items, explore rooms with all sorts of villainous creatures, from the mighty Minotaur to the fabled Emperor Dragon. Are you ready to roll and write your name into the history books? Well, that certainly sounds intriguing. You can see the back of the box. Looks like there's a lot packed into this box. So let's open it up and take a quick look. So I've gotten smart. You can see I have scissors now. Now the only thing I got to be careful of is not to wreck the box, because that happens to me occasionally. You get a little scar on the box and you go, "Ooh, what the heck did I just do?" So this is published by, it looks like Meeple X, and it's from Leonardo Paris, or Paris. Can't really, sorry, Leonardo. Oh, sorry, this game is from Lindro Paris. If I butchered that name, I am so sorry, Lindro. So we have a bunch of cards, and these look like monster cards. That's kind of cool. Let's just take a look. And we'll take a closer look, but I'm just curious. So they look like the various monsters. Oh, look, we have various dungeons. Cool. That looks kind of cool, actually. We've got some, looks like some scrolls or items. You got to appreciate a game that gives you pencils. We have dice, and I have no idea, you know what the game is yet, because again, it was an impulse buy. That's the words I was looking for. It was an impulse buy. We have the rules and a ton of sheets. That's kind of neat. Now I'm going to power up my laminator, I think, for this, and I'm going to put one of these in. And as I usually do, I have some dry erase markers, and we're going to learn to play, and we're going to sleeve some of these cards, and we're going to come back, and I think we're going to play a game. So I'd like to read this part too. I think it gives a little context to the game. It says, in Paper Dungeons, each player controls a team of 4 classic fantasy heroes: warrior, wizard, cleric, and rogue, who are on dangerous quests. They will explore a dungeon full of monsters, traps, and treasures, and try to complete missions and objectives, all in the pursuit of power and glory. At the end of the game, the heroes will return to the village to tell their tales in the tavern. The player who can boast of the most glorious adventure is the winner. And there's the bit of the setup, so I'm going to go through the rules. Nice. I like the fact that though it's a bit shiny here, there's no coloration on the paper, so the black really shows. Some of the games I've seen lately give this kind of brown, and then you look at it and I can't read. So let's get on with it, and we're going to play with this. We're going to do up the cards first, though, and then we are going to come back and learn how to play. As I'm setting this up and I'm sleeving the cards here, I want to show you that I am using a Sleeve King sleeve. These are 80 by 120, and these are the Dixit card sleeves. So they're not tarot, they're a little bit wider. So just to let you know, that's what I'm using for the main cards, and you can see that right here. That's the size of the cards. So for the smaller cards, we are using the Mayday sleeves. They are the 45 by 68, and they fit the smaller cards that you can see right here. And you can see one of the cards in there right now. So there are 2 different types of sleeves. Of course, we've shown you the Sleeve King 80 by 120, and then we have the Mayday sleeves that we just talked about. So I have now organized this game, and we are ready to go. So just to show you some of the cards, these are the maze cards, and these would be pulled out random, and then we're going to seed the dungeon with these, I believe. I'm not totally 100% sure. I did look at a video. I often do. I mean, why would I come into a game totally cold? We have monsters. So we have Watchers, Dragons, Leashes, Hydras, Elemental, Chimera, Vampire, Giant, Mummy, Golem, Gargoyle, Minotaur, and then you can see that they're level 1s, level 2s, and level 3 monsters. Now, they did come with some handy bags. That's fine in this case. I don't think we need anything more, anything fancier in this than a few bags. Here we have what looks like classes, and each class has its own sort of unique ability, perhaps. I'm not totally 100% sure because I really haven't explored the game fully. Here we look like we have how we can earn points. So it says earn 2, 4, 6 if you earn 10, 15, 20 glory points fighting monsters. So since you want to add, get glory points because you want to be able to boast at the tavern, that's probably one way of doing it. And of course, then here's a bunch of firsts. Explore 15 dungeon rooms. Defeat 3 different level minions. First, level up 2 heroes to levels. So there's a number of firsts here too to bump your glory points. And then very neat dice. They are all, looks like a nice custom. They're not just 1 through 6. They've got skulls and I'm not sure what other. Oh, look at some values of 8 and 5. So they're not standard dice. And in fact, it looks like we have some cleric and wizard dice, perhaps. I am not sure. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go off and I'm going to learn the game, believe it or not. I'm actually going to laminate one of these papers as well. And that way I can reuse it multiple times. And so we'll be back in a minute and we're going to get into the gameplay. And this is what it's all about, folks. This is as simple as it goes. I don't think it was expensive. Certainly, I'll flash it up. I bought it from 401 Games in Toronto. That is my go-to game store. And I think it was in the $20 to $25 range, which for a roll and write is not too bad. The fact that they gave me pencils, really cool. I like pencils because you never have them around the house. In fact, I was playing a game the other day and was like, do we have a pencil? I had to go out and buy pencils. Oh, that was for Role Players Adventures. So I actually had to go buy a mechanical pencil so that I could actually play the game. And an eraser. So let's get down. I'm going to do some laminating and we're going to be back. So looking at the components, we're getting ready to go to the setup. The first thing that we do is that we take a player board, which is here. And you can see I've laminated and I have my markers here to use it. Then we will pick a dungeon. And the dungeon is going to determine what monsters we're going to see. And in the first, after the first 3 turns or rounds, we're going to see a level 1, and then a level 2 after the next 3 rounds, and after 2 rounds, the next 3. Now, in order to get to these monsters and be able to fight them, we'll have to make sure that we've actually passed their or up to their locations on the map. So this is what's on our maps now, but we will draw some walls in and put the monsters in a moment. So first of all, we're going to close our eyes. Now on the back of these cards, as we go, is the backstory, and each backstory will tell us which monsters we're going to fight. So I'm going to close my eyes, and we're going to pick one out of this pile here, right there, and the rest we're going to put back in the box. So in this particular backstory, which I'm going to throw up, and you can pause it and read it on your own, we're basically going to have the golem, the vampire, and the dragon. Then those are the 3 monsters that we are going to fight. So we're going to put them on our board. And so B2 is 1. We'll just put that in red because that's dangerous. So B2. There's A. B2 is number 1. D4 is number 2. So we have D, and then 4 is number 2. And number 3 is on C, and then 7. So this is number 3. And then what we're going to do is basically turn over our cards, and you can see we've got these right. But we have, and looking at the cards, these little thick walls are on the board already. So if you look at this and that, you can see that they're on the board already. But we're going to draw these little thin lines here. So we'll get our blue marker here, and we will draw our lines this way. And then we have that, and then we have a T here, and then a double line and a double line here. And that is all we need from this. So we'll just put that back in the bag at this point. We don't need it anymore. We will put our golem out is 1. We'll just move those off for a second. Dragon is the 3rd, and the vampire is the 2nd. So we're just going to put them up here in order. And we'll talk more about the particular cards when we fight them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take up these bonus cards. And in the solo variant, because there's not 2 players playing, we are going to use this scale for the bonus points. So the quicker I can accomplish a goal, the more points I'm going to get. So it ranges from basically 6 points to 1 point. So we're going to shuffle them up. And we're going to put 3 out. 1. So the first one says, defeat 6 minions. Claim 4 gems. And have a total of 12 health. So I have a feeling that we are not going to hit all of those as quick as we'd like to hit. We'll just put that over here. Next, we're going to take 2 of the mission cards, and then we'll deal ourselves 2 of the mission cards. 1, 2, and we're going to choose one of those, and we're going to deal ourselves 2 of what they're calling the power cards. And these remind me of sort of the actual professions, but we're going to take 2 of the power cards. And then we're going to determine which of these 2 cards we want. So let's take a look at the cards here. So a couple things we need to know is that we're going to own 2, 4, 6 if you defeated 2, 3, or 4 level 4 minions. Earn 2, 4, 6 if you defeated 2, 3, or 4 level minions. So it's basically the same card. The big difference in the cards, now I'll try to bring these up, is these black and white squares along the line. And they have to do with your alignments to the dice. So in one case, our warrior and our rogue is white. And that means they would only use the white dice, basically. And they have to take their actions in the white dice. Where the wizard and the cleric would use the black dice. And this is basically a little bit differently. This would be the rogue and the warrior is black, and the wizard and the cleric is white, as opposed to the wizard and the cleric being black. That is the only difference. Looking at what we need here down here, I think we're going to want to invest some options in some of these wizards and these clerics, because we want to kill minions too. So I'm going to want to do this rather quickly, and I'm going to want to get our warrior up fairly quickly, because we want to deal with these minions in order to get these potions and things of that nature. And all of these are spelled out on this board here, and we'll take a little closer look at the board before we choose. So you can see traps. If we hit a trap, which is these little spiky things, we're always going to take 1 damage, even if we've passed it before and we come back through it. Here we have minions, and there is their strength. So in this case, I have to have at least a level 3 warrior to defeat him, or if I'm a level 2, I'll take 1 damage. If I'm a level 1, I'll take 2 damage. You start with 4 health. And if you ever exceed your damage, you're going to die and then be resurrected. And that's a -9 at the end. The more damage you take, the more negative points you're going to get. Of course, you can pick up your gems, and you can, of course, grab rewards, which in this case looks like, I am not sure what that reward is. We'll have to look that one up. But there's the different rewards here. You can get a potion. So in this case, this will allow us to take a crafting item. And each one of these items are crafting, and we can use 1 dice for that. To move, we would use 1 dice for 2, but a black dice also has 3 steps. So this particular one you could take and use for 3 steps. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to level up with our dice rolls. We're going to move. We are going to and fight minions and move along the dungeon. We can craft. We can make potions. So on each turn, we're going to be able to take 3 actions, and there's 4 possible actions. We can level up the hero, we can craft a potion, we can brew a potion, or we can explore the dungeon. So I have decided that we are going to take the black dice for the warrior and the rogue, and what we're going to do is come up here, and we're going to fill that in on this space right there. And that tells us that we are going to use the dark dice. Now we can only take 3 actions per turn. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our power card. We have to decide that it's 2 times during setup craft 2 halves of 2 different artifacts. And you can see there's a negative effect on that. Or do not take any damage when you fight a monster. That is a barbarian. Well, I certainly like do not take damage when you fight a monster. This is a monster, these are minions. This would certainly give us an advantage of not taking hits when we fight the dragon. I think this is only, is it a monster? I think it's only a level 1 monster. Judging by the color, you can see there's a color green here. There we go. Umor can confirm that because in the back of the book is a glossary of cards. And the Berserker says, this is a barbarian actually, let's see. Do not take any damage when you fight a level 1 monster. Okay, that would give us a little bit on this one. You know what, I'm going to take the 2 halves. And that's a setup. So right away I'm going to put this back and I can look at the different things that we can have. And this one would give us an advantage over the monsters. And this wizards would give me, and we have to use 2 different ones. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to give ourselves, I think that's a flaming sword. So let's look at crafting. Again, we are learning this as I go along. And so you're going to have to excuse me that I will look up on the book. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I know that there's a lot of people who say, you don't know the game. And you're right, I don't know the game. But we're going to try to get through the game together. And that's what it's all about for me, is getting it. So we're going to craft an artifact. And in fact, I think the artifacts are back here, are the main ones. Let's just see. Oh, here, Almanac of the Artifacts. So this is the Flaming Sword, Death Scepter. This is the Car Medallion. You may now jump over water, earn a glory point at the end of the game. And this one is a intangibility cloak, which you can move through walls. Always good to be able to move through walls. And then if you want to, this allows you to take 4 points. That is the Crown of the Righteous King. This is the Alchemist Cauldron, which allows us to prepare 3 potions. The Armor of Heroes, add +1 to strength when you fight a minion, not a monster. Every 2 glory points at the end of the game, earn 2 glory points. And the Tome of Wisdom, so you can level up anyone and earn 3 glory points. So there's plenty of ways of earning glory points in this game. We are now ready to start the game. So we're going to just put our green, move everything up just a little tiny bit so that you can see my dice rolling green thing. So we are allowed to do 3 actions. Well, I certainly like the idea of leveling up. Oh, and I forgot to mark my craftsman, so I can take 2. So give me 1 second. So if we look at my board, I'm going to take half of the Flaming Sword and half of the potions. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got a black dice here. So I'm going to level up my warrior. Whoops, yep, that's fine. My warrior here. And this is dice number 5, and we put that in the box just so we know. But in my case, since it's a solo, we'll just take it right out. The next thing we're going to do is we have nothing to do here. This can be anything I wanted. So we have a cleric coming up here after this. That's going to be a 4. And we certainly want to get to there and then there. So I think what we're going to do is use this to level up our cleric to level 2. And level 1, our special ability is rogue. So we're going to certainly want to get our level rogue up. So that's a dice number 9. And so you would put your 9 there. And then I think we can move, or we could finish this. And I'm thinking I'm going to take my dice, and that's another 6, and we're just going to finish this, which gives me 3 potions, and I mark my 3 potions here. Now the advantage of the potions is this allows me to absorb damage. So this is where we are. That is the first turn. You can see how quick that is. So next turn, we rolled a skeleton. That means we are going to take 1 damage. That is our first damage. But we don't have to take it there. So we will take it here in our potion, and we are okay. And we'll just take that out. We can't do anything with this. We can take 3 steps if we want. So we're going to enter our dungeon. So we're going to enter our dungeon. And I think we're only going to take 2 steps. And the first step here, so we're going to enter our dungeon. Let's use green because it's go. We're going to enter our dungeon here. We are going to take our reward, which is a potion, which is always good. We're going to move our second step here. This is a minion. The minion has 3. I have 2. I am going to take 1 damage, so one of our potions is gone. However, I am rewarded with being able to do a craft. So this allows me to finish my flaming sword, which is excellent because this allows me to get to my golem faster. So we've taken 1. At this point, we'll take another dice. And we'll just mark these off because there we are. And I think we will start another. I'd like to start going through walls perhaps. So let's give our rogue a partial there. And then lastly, really can't do much else but do another potion. So we're well founded at this point, and that is our third turn. We basically have to, at this point, go up and make sure that we are going to take a, get past that number 1. So at this point, we are going to roll again. So we have a clover, a wizard. So that's good, because the first guy is a... So I'm going to... Oh, the clover is a black or white, so I am going to use this clover first to up my rogue. My cleric is white, so I can't update my cleric. My wizard is white, so I can't update my wizard. So what can we do here? I think we're okay, even though we're going to take some hit here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to move. We're going to move into this spot, which allows us to the battle number 1, which is going to come up after this. And then for our second move, we're going to move here. And we are going to take a cleric, which is an undead. Now, I am a 4, my cleric is a 2, so I am going to take 2 damage. So there's another potion gone. However, I do get a gem for 3 points. I get 1 more. And I can't upgrade anybody with it. So my choice is to basically either make a potion or... So we're going to take this and start with our crown here. There we are. That is our 3 dice. 1, 2, 3. So we are now on the third turn. Now we cannot have leveled up. We haven't defeated 6 minions. We have defeated 2 minions. So there we are, actually. We should make sure that we mark that off. We have not claimed 4 gems, but we've won. Nope. And total health of 12. We don't have a total health of 12 yet. However, I should have put our health up by 3 because we have 3, 1, 2, 3. So every time you level up, you also level up your health. So we are in good shape. Now we're going to fight our golem. So the first thing we're going to do is we know we're going to add up our strength. Our strength is basically the number of levels that we are up between all the characters, but double because of the weakness. If you can see it right there, he is weak to the rogue. So we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we basically just make it. I am going to take 3 hits, and I'm going to put 2 points here, but I'm taking 3 hits. 1, 2, 3, and we only get 2 victory points at this point. Now we're going to have to get up to our 2 spot, which is here. So we're going to roll our dice again. We have the +3. Sorry, we also have the +3. So we have 9, 10, 11, 12. So we didn't make the 13, unfortunately. Next up is the vampire, and it's the priest. So we might want to get that priest up at least another level, if we can. The rogue is not white, so these are not good. However, we do have a black, so we can put our warrior up 1, and we can go up another level. We got plenty of health. So I'm going to use one of the white dice for movement. Unfortunately, we're going to move through some traps, so that's 1. So we're going to take 8 damage. But we do get the level up, and we're going to level up our wizard, which gives us another level up. And then we are going to come over this way for our second, and we are going to take another hit. And then what we're going to do is brew a potion. So one of the corrections I'm going to make is, originally we've got 3, then I brewed 1, but you brew 2. So in this case, I would brew 2. 1, 2, and because I had got to 4, I would actually have gotten another level up. And we know that this monster is going to be the vampire is weak to the cleric. So we're going to level up our cleric, which again gives us another there. So we have 1, 2, 3 originally. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one allows us to do a craft, which gives us these 4 victory points. And then, so to correct this, we should have had 3. And then we used 1 dice, which would have given us 2, and another dice given us 2 more, and another dice would have given us 2 more. So we are there at this point, and we have used up everything in this round. So potentially at this point, the vampire is 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus our flaming is 17. So we've got to get a little bit more with our cleric, perhaps. But we have to get over to the 2 space. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go here. We are going to take 8 damage from here. So again, we're going to do that. Take our damage. The priest is white. So I think what we're going to do is put the priest up 1 more. And at this point, for reaching level 4, we don't take damage from minions anymore. So that is pretty good. That is what this symbol means right here. It's a skull symbol. And that is a bonus for reaching that point in the game. So now that we've leveled up our cleric to the 4th space, we have a skull, so I no longer take damage from a skull, which is good. So we've leveled up that cleric. I'm pretty sure now we've got enough to take care of that vampire. We could go up another level. I think we're going to have to move. So we're going to move. Oh, one of those was there. So actually, I'm wrong. This doesn't exist. There we are. We'll just write that one out. There we are. That doesn't exist because there was only 1 here. Okay, next up. So we're going to take one of our dice, and our rogue is black. So we're going to take this one, and we're going to move 2. 1, which gives us that last potion that we shouldn't have taken before. And then we're going to go 2 here. We do have to take a damage because of the trap, but we do get to level up. And I think what we're going to do is level up our rogue, because we're coming to this portion here. So we're going to level up our rogue. And lastly, we are going to fight that monster, but we're in good shape. We could level up our... we could move again. Or we could craft. I think we don't really need to craft much other than trying to... We don't really need to get through wall. We might want to do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to craft so I can get through a wall. There we are. That's our rogue ability. And that is our 3 dice. And this is now be our... 1, 2, 3. Now we're ready for... Just before we going to battle our... Thankfully, we don't have to worry about this. We are going to, because our cleric now protects us. Thank goodness for the cleric. Our rogue, I think we're going to try to bump up our wizard, which we can't do. We could bump up our cleric and try to do the vampire. So let's do that. We're going to do our cleric up one more time, but that's not going to take us to 22, I don't think. Black, no. We're going to have to move, and that's the rogue. So I'm going to put my rogue up 1 for our first move. So that gives us our rogue, and because of that, he collects a gem. He's going to collect his second gem. Okay, then we're going to move. Doesn't really matter which one we're going to move. No, okay. We'll use this black because we can always put our cleric up again anyway. And we're going to move 1. So we've moved into the 1 so we can fight 2, and then we're going to go over to here. And we're going to need our cleric, who's going to beat this minion because it says 4, and that is going to give us another gem. And we don't have to take any damage because our minion, and we've just offed another minion. That's our 4th minion. We haven't claimed 3 gems yet. So we're just going to have to keep trying. And for our last, I think we're just going to take the 1 damage and move again. And go, so we're going to take 2 damage, 1 through this spike trap, 2 through this spike trap. However, we do get another potion, and that is the end of our turn. We are now ready to fight the vampire. Now the vampire is a cleric, weakness to cleric, and we're going to get 2 victory points for this. We're going to get... They're not going to run away, so we're good. So, the vampire, we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Not enough. But we do get here, so we're going to get 5 plus the bonus is 7. Sorry, it's 5. Yeah, 5 plus the 7. But we are going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. But we have made it up to our last guy. The last dragon is going to be a warrior base, so we really need to concentrate on getting our warrior up so that we can take it. Each starts at 18, so this is going to be a tough one. Also because we only get 2 rounds at this point to get to the top of our dungeon. So our warrior is a black dice, so we certainly want to up our warrior, who gets a +1 now fighting a monster. That's good. I think what we're going to do is we're going to move our 2, because we're going to have to move this along. Or I can move 3. 1, 2, 3. I think that works for us. We've done 1. So we're going to take the black dice with the 3 feet, and we're going to move 3. We could move right through the wall, but we might as well take advantage of trying to... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we better do this. We're going to go 1. Can we go through the wall? No. Yes, we can. We can go through a wall. So this kind of makes sense. No, it doesn't make any sense. Sorry. So we're going to go 1 over here. 1 over here. We are going to take 1 damage. And we should be up 1. So we can check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we should be at 14. Okay. And then we get 1 more. Oh, and we get to halfway finish a something. +1 for the minions. I think we're going to try this tome here. There we are. And lastly, I think what we're going to do is use this tome again. We're going to spend one of our dice to put our tome up. That's going to allow us to raise and give us the warrior. This is the last round of 3 dice. It's too bad. I would like to have had a black. So what's going to help us here? Not much, really. So we're going to take our 3. We're going to take our 3 and we're going to go 1. We're going to come over to here. And that is a 5 to my 4. So I am going to take a hit for that, but I get another gem. And then I'm going to come back for 2. Here to 3. I'm going to take another damage. And that's our other dice. 3. So we got to go, we gone now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to have to use our last dice to get us over to the 3 spot right there. And we have spent all 3 of our dice to get to number 3. That is our dragon. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare our strength. So we have 3 here, plus the bonus is 4. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where are we here? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we just trip over. So we're going to get the 6 plus the 2 here is 8. And then we're going to get smacked back for 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is the end of the game. So at this point in time, I don't think we defeated 6 minions. No, we did not. Did we claim 4 gems? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, and we did that last one. So that would have been 2 points. We would have claimed for this one. And total of health of 12, which we do. Which we got earlier. So that's a couple more points that I didn't really register. So we'll give ourselves a couple of points. And I should have been paying it more attention, but I wasn't. That happens. So I'm going to take, there's only 2 points here. And let's just say we've crossed the health maybe 3 turns ago. Total health. So we'll give ourselves 3 points for that. And did we create how many minion level? If you defeated 2, 3, or 4 level 4 minions. So how many level 4 minions did we have? There's a level 5. Didn't do that one. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Only 3. So we're only going to get 2 points for that. We're okay here. We're -1 here. We have 4 here. 15 here. Level up, we take our lowest, which is really 3 points. So I didn't really get my wizard up, which cost me. And crafting, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our total is 2, 9, 17, 20, 28, 38, 43, 47, 46, 48, plus 50, about 53. So our first run through the dungeon was 53. We would go back to if we were playing multiplayer, we'd go back and the person with the most points wins. But that is Paper Dungeon. It's as simple as that, a nice dice and roll and write game. Other than a couple of mistakes where I really wasn't paying attention to the bookkeeping as much as I should. That is typical of me. But I think that gives you enough of an idea to whether or not this kind of a roll and write is for you. So we're going to go up, talk about final thoughts, and talk about the game for a minute. So here we are. We are at the final thoughts. And what did I think about this game? First of all, let's start with the rules. The rules, there's a lot of rules. You can see this is a very crowded board, and because you're playing more or less with 4 characters and 4 different bonuses and a whole bunch of stuff, there's a lot of stuff going on this itty-bitty board. So there are quite a number of rules to remember, like making sure I'm putting up my health and making sure I'm tracking the minions and all those types of things. However, with that being said, the rules were fine. I got through it. Not a big issue, and I enjoyed it quite well in terms of the play of the game. The replayability is a roll and write. There's lots of replayability. There's lots of dungeons, lots of combinations of monsters, lots of power scrolls and goals to go, and of course you have tons of random. Of course, if you're into random games or not into random games, that might be a problem for you. So all in all, though, as a roll and write, it's good. I like dungeon crawlers. This would work. If I would take this easily on vacation, and I could just sit in the bar, have a beer, and play this game by myself, or invite some folks into the table and onto the table and to play with me. So the game itself is good. The theme, I love crawlers, I love fantasy. Nothing wrong with a theme like this. I don't have any issues. I like the theme. It speaks to me much better than some of these other roll and writes that I have here that I've never played. But obviously this one I'm playing because I'm enjoying it, and this is the first time I played it, and I've enjoyed it, and I will play it again. This is a great Christmas gift as we come up to the Christmas season. So I would highly recommend if you can put this under somebody's tree and you can play it through the day. You can teach a kid, or teach your children, I should say. This game is very, very easy. We've talked about replayability. We've talked about theme. The components are fine. We've got cards. The cards have a nice thickness to them. Now I did sleeve them with the 2 types of sleeves I have. Both are pretty good. The one sleeve, the Dixit sleeves, are 0.92. These ones are like around 0.6. So they're a little thicker than penny sleeves, but not a lot. But it gives it a good weight and a good feel in your hand, and it'll save some wear and tear, especially around the Christmas table when you're eating food. The dice are good. They're good size. I mean, you know, if you look at a regular size dice in this, you can see just ahead there, you can see the difference in size. So very, very good. The fact that I'm able to laminate when I play myself means I don't have to use up a sheet. They give you 100. Now there probably is somewhere where you could download it and then take it over to a photocopy. In my case, I'm just laminating it. Makes life easier. You can see it's a little sloppy though, but it's just me. Value. what's the rolling rate? It's $22 Canadian at 401 Games. I think it was $22.95, and I think today it was actually on sale, 10% off because of the Cyber Monday, Black Friday. So I mean, for $20, I've gotten far less than some for the $20. You've got nice dice, nice cards, paper, good set of rules. I like it. The value's there for a roll and write for a $20 game. Overall, I would give it 2 thumbs up, and would play this again. And I would teach people because you can teach it very, very quickly. So hopefully you've enjoyed this run through and a little peek at Paper Dungeons. And I learned I heard it pronounced as Leandro Pitres. So hopefully I've got it, Leandro, and that I mispronounced it earlier, and I apologize if I did. Leandro Pitres. So that's it for me. My name is Harry Jacobs. If you like what you see, please hit the like, subscribe, hit the notifications, leave some comments down below. Catch me up on Board Game Revolution, Board Games for One, Solo Board Gamers, the Board Game Group, and occasionally on Everything Board Games. I don't bite, unless you want me to. So this is it for now. I will talk to you all next time when I see you. So that is it for now. Enjoy yourself, be safe,